Hey guys, Olivia Spackowitz here. I am a current double diamond with It Works Global, and I just wanted to reach out to those who have been thinking about this opportunity for a long time and can't get off the fence. So, I wanted to address a couple of common fears or doubts that people have when thinking about joining It Works. And the first one I'm going to go over is if you have been thinking, what if, for a long time. You go to bed at night and you're thinking, gosh, what if, what if I joined? What if I succeeded? Um, what if I was able to pay off some of my debt? What if I was able to um, take care of that daycare bill? What if I was able to pay off some of my credit card? What if I was able to take my family on a vacation next year? What if I could. Um, know that there's no penalty. So if you join and you decide it's not for you down the road, there's no contract, no penalty. So if you give it a try, you give it your best shot, and 3 months later, you're just like, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do it. You don't have to keep going. Um, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. So there's no penalty, there's no charge. So don't worry about that. The next thing is you might be thinking, I don't want to leave my day job. I love my job. And that's totally fine. The majority of people who do It Works do work other jobs. You might think, oh gosh, is this for stay at home moms? No. Yeah, there's stay at home moms who do this, but there's also a ton of teachers, ton of RNs, lawyers, doctors, accountants, waitresses, um, pretty much every career that you can think of, somebody has an It Works. We have everything. So if you don't want to leave your day job, you don't have to. You can perpetually work at your day job, and that's totally fine. But that being said, if you want to make this a career, if you're thinking you want to be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dog mom or a stay-at-home dad, or you want to leave your job and pursue, part-time photography or anything, whatever. You want to travel the world. You don't want to be tied down from a desk job. You can do that too. A lot of people do It Works as their career. I do, and I love it. And I was not looking for this opportunity. I was not looking for network marketing. I was not looking for It Works. I was a almost college grad with a month left of school to go, not confident that I wanted to go into the direction that I had pursued. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you're a busy mom, you work and you love it, that's fine. I know someone, my sister, who loves her job and she has kids, and she may never want to leave her job, but she is amazing at It Works. So it's up to you. The next thing is you might not feel confident that you can sell. Joining It Works is an experience, and if you really engage, if you really just dive in with both feet, and give it a shot, you're going to become a more confident person because there's people around who are lifting you up. People really want to see you succeed in this company. So if you're just not sure for yourself that you can do this, or maybe you've been told that you're not going to succeed at something, or that you can't do, that you're limited in some way, we're going to tell you the opposite. So if you're not confident and you are not a salesperson, none of us are salespeople. I mean, most of us are not salespeople. Some people, I'm sure, have sales jobs. But a lot of us have come from way different backgrounds, so that's okay. It's a learning process, so you don't have to jump in and be like, number one seller. Another thing is maybe your friends aren't interested. So sometimes I hear people say, well, I asked my friends and none of them want to buy. Okay, none of mine did either. I had one friend buy to support me right away, and then she later became a distributor. But other than that, it took a long time for one other friend of mine to come around and buy as a customer. So if you don't have friends and family support, that shouldn't deter you. This is not a company where you have to hunt down your family every 4 seconds to buy from you. I mean, it's nice to have them buy from you, but if they don't, you're not bound to fail. So if you are honestly coming to me and saying, well, my friends aren't interested, so I can't do it, you are seriously letting 5 people out of 7 billion people in the world dictate your success and your future, which is so silly. I, like I said, I had family support, but I didn't have much friend support at all. I had one friend who was like, it's a pyramid scheme. It's a scheme. It's a scam. Which brings me to my next topic. So when you hear people say it's a scam, most of the time they don't even know what they're talking about. They've never even looked into It Works at all. And a lot of times if you read a review, I'm just going to be really honest, if you read a review online and somebody says, I didn't make any money, I didn't, whatever, I didn't succeed. We all have different views of what hard work is, okay? I'm not going to tell you can join and then not do anything and make money. It's not going to happen. This is a real job. This is a real career. So, no, you can't just pay the $99 and boom, you're a millionaire. It's not going to happen. And some people think it's going to. Some people don't realize this is building a business, or I had somebody that I know who said that no one was interested in buying, and then later I found out she didn't even tell her mom. Okay, so you have people who join and then they don't work at all, and then they say it didn't work. Well, if it didn't work, did you work? So take that with a grain of salt. It doesn't matter what people think. If I honestly had listened to people saying, oh, whatever, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a scam, I was the only one that had looked at the compensation plan. I was the only one had done the research. I'm not dumb. If I thought it was a scam, I wouldn't have done it. And so it doesn't matter. Unless somebody's paying your bills, unless somebody is dictating your entire life that way, okay, you don't get an opinion. And if you're going to tell me your opinion, you're going to be in my face, I'm going to block you. Or I'm going to ignore you. Or I'm going to tell you to pound sand. So, who cares? The thing with the whole pyramid scheme, it's not. Pyramid schemes are actually illegal. And we are very well known among network marketing companies, and a very well respected network marketing company. Donald Trump was on a talk show, and the talk show host asked him, if you were to lose everything today and had nothing left, what would you do tomorrow? And he said, I would find a really good network marketing company and I would work my way to the top. And the audience booed him. And he said, well, that's why I'm up here and you're down there. So, to me, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of the best-selling financial books of all time, huge fan. He calls it the perfect business. So, stop worrying so much about what random uneducated person says on the street about It Works, and start worrying about what it can do for your family. Start doing the research. Start doing real research. Another thing is I don't have the money. And a lot of times I don't have the money translates to other things, like maybe you don't have the confidence, maybe you aren't sure you can do this, whatever host of reasons. But not having the money, there's so many people who have joined this company who didn't have a dime to their name. They didn't, not that I'm advocating not paying your bills, but they didn't pay their electric bill one month, or they asked their mom to borrow the money, or they sold some of the stuff that they had. They sold clothes or shoes to have the $99 startup because they knew that this company could change their life, and they got to work as soon as they joined. So if you don't have the money, then save. If you really want to do this. If you don't want to do this, if you're just saying I don't have the money because you don't really want to change, then don't. But if you really want to do this, then you will find a way, I promise you. If you are scared you're going to lose money, I hear that all the time. And if you're scared you're going to lose money, we don't have to keep stock. So I don't keep a back stock worth $500. People buy it directly through my website. And, I recommend buying 2 to 3 products a month. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because if I'm not using the products, then why am I telling other people they're good enough to use in their life? They're not good enough to use in mine. But you know what? There is a way to run this business for $20 a month. That's your website fee, $20 a month. That is what you're paying to run your business, $20 a month. So the people who are like, I'm afraid I'm going to lose thousands of dollars. Did you even look at the comp plan? Sorry, that might sound bad, but truly, where are you going to lose thousands of dollars? And frankly, if you're a really hard worker and you join and you put your nose down and you focus, you're not going to lose money. If you're objectively a hard worker, you're not going to lose money. So basically, that's pretty much it. If you really want to do this, if you want to find a way to change your life, maybe you don't get it. Maybe you're looking at me being like, she's talking about changing your life, and I don't get how It Works Global can change my life. Maybe you don't get it yet. I didn't get it when I joined. I wanted to make an extra like $300 or $400 a month. I had no idea. I looked at the income charts and thought, God, someone who's like double or triple diamond, like that's not real. People don't do that. And triple diamond's my next promotion. And I'm not telling you that to be like, oh, triple diamond's my next promotion, but I'm not anything like, I'm not a professional salesperson. I didn't do anything special. I did what the company told me to do. And if you do that, you can do it too. And we're not saturated. We're at 105,000 paid distributors worldwide, 14 countries, opening and more. 13, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's like 0.005% of the population or something like that. So moral of the story is we're not even close to saturated. So if that's your concern, then you need to find different concerns because it's not. And that's it. That's it. I hope you decide to join. I hope that you decide to set your fears aside and give it a shot because you're worth it. Okay? Bye guys.